Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston.
What a name, huh? What a name. That's like Ebenezer or what, at any rate. I've been yammering about this for 6 years now, and people still don't listen, even though the sky looks nothing like it used to at all. That's kind of a big deal. Dwight D. Eisenhower warned people about the military-industrial complex. And then John F. Kennedy went even further and warned us about the secret societies. The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society. Pretty good, right? They don't need us anymore. Do you see what I'm saying? Well, the next day, fortunately for them, 9/11 occurred. And just coincidentally enough, it hit the Pentagon directly in the accountant's office and killed a bunch of accountants that could or would have tried to discover what the missing money, where it all went. George Herbert Walker Bush doesn't remember when he was there. Why do I keep talking about this over and over and over? Because this was never a secret. The information's been out for time immemorial, man. These guys, what do you think Common Core is? Everything's going great, but they've instituted Common Core where 4 + 4 = 5, and that's okay?
Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston. Today's the 19th of May. It is 2017, and you are looking at a video I put up yesterday. And I was showing you how the transgender child epidemic is burgeoning, how it's somebody is expediting this agenda incredibly. In every place you look around, all this stuff is front page. It's trending. It's viral. It's on the news. It's absolutely everywhere. There's basically no escaping it. The top videos on YouTube right now are all people parading their children around as transgender, basically destroying that child's life for the rest of its life. Now, is this all just because parents are pushing this agenda? Is this all because the elites are pushing the agenda? What is this from? What's causing this? Well, I have a good idea, and I found it in a science article that I'll show you right now. You're looking at the description of Bisphenol A, an organic synthetic compound which with the chemical formula blah 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 belonging to the group of blah 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 derivatives and bisphenols. With 2 hydroxyphenyl groups, it is a colorless solid that is soluble in organic solvents but poorly soluble in water. Now you're looking at its genetic makeup, its chemical makeup right here, but why am I showing you this? Because everything since the late 60s went from wood, metal, aluminum, and stainless steel to plastic. It's everywhere. When I was a kid, now remember, I'm only 49 years old. When I was a kid, you could still drink the water out of the tap, basically. You could come to any stream, any river in the United States, basically, for the most part, and drink the water. Now, you wouldn't do that with a gun to your head unless you were grossly misinformed. Not only did they start polluting the water, the environment, the air, they came out with the bottled water and it took off like wildfire. And now when you test the water, you find out that it's basically tap water or less. It's worse than tap water. And there are thousands of videos to prove it. So not only did they get us coming and going, so to speak, you can no longer drink tap water. Tap water probably has lead, arsenic, and a variety of other metals that they put in it. Now remember, I was a plumber for the longest time, and when I need to, I still can. I'm familiar with the lead, steel, metal, and all the other different types of plumbing pipe that they use to transfer the water. Some of them are still clay, some of them are still concrete, especially in big cities like Boston and New York. So not only do they get us where we're paying for the right to drink clean water, Then there's the aftermath, which is absolutely everywhere, to the point where it's floating around in the ocean and they've done specials on it. It's absolutely unbelievable. Look at this. This is the Earth. Look at this person right here looking for something clean to drink or eat in this disgusting water, and it's an epidemic. It's absolutely everywhere. So why am I showing you this? Why am I screaming and yelling? Why do I sound like this? Because of this little article that snuck out right here. Exposure to BPA might reprogram the brains of turtles, affecting them genetically. And now what is this story discussing? They're saying that they're accidentally, inadvertently, without knowing it, changing the gender or the sex of turtles. Now, this is just one little drip that's going to come out, no pun intended, but apparently BPA is a common chemical used in a variety of products. Actually, it's in just about everything, and it exhibits estrogen-mimicking hormone-like properties that raise the concern about its effect on the environments, and it affects the growth, reproduction, and development in aquatic organisms, fish being the most vulnerable. Really? Really? Is that the only thing that's the most vulnerable? Because does anybody remember when this wasn't a thing? Because I do. A few people had tendencies and then they went that route. But then all of a sudden, it's absolutely everywhere. The tiniest fraction of the American population and the world population is gay. And yet it runs everything. Every single solitary thing. Do you know why? Because these people worship Satan, and they've snuck themselves into government, and they're spreading their sickness and disease everywhere. Now, for my subscribers, I know there's a lot of you that say that you're gay, lesbian, whatever. That's great. But you know what? If I had a mental disorder, I would treat it as opposed to promulgating it and spreading it around, because that's what it is. I'm sorry to say it, okay? Have you ever seen a male dog hump another male dog? It doesn't mean he's gay. He's just seriously misguided, and that's just all there is to it. But you know what else? They've filled the water with BPAs everywhere, and they're showing it in these little articles. Oh, it happens to turn a bunch of turtles to the other sex. What an unbelievable little thing. Well, because we've known about this for years, and it would explain the absolute explosion that everybody's now transgender, everybody's gay, it's just absolutely unbelievable to me. And again, I'm sorry if you think you're gender fluid, but guess what? Gender is a mental disorder. Do you know who came up with it? Not Richie from Boston. John Hopkins, psychiatrist. John Hopkins University came up with it. As well did the Center for Pediatric Nurses and Doctors. I didn't make this up. And you see this? This is new. Why isn't this front page news? Why is it on YouTube to a channel that gets censored more than any 3 other channels I've ever heard of? This isn't my opinion. This is the facts. And if I look around now, looking at the country the way it is, looking at the world the way it is, we're heading in a really bad direction, and it's not your fault. They've tricked us. They've put BPAs in absolutely everything, and this is how they disclose it. Because they're disclosing everything right now. Everything is coming out to the mainstream, and people aren't even seeing it because they predictive programmed everybody so much that nobody actually cares when they hear, hey, your house is on fire. Yeah, well, I'm checking my emails. I'll get to it in a few minutes. Nobody listens. Nobody hears. There's only a small fraction of us that are actually awake and trying to spread the word, and they're doing an amazing job shutting us all down. At any rate, here's the culprit right here. BPAs, turning everybody gay. Richie from Boston, like, share, subscribe, or don't, because I had to point out the fact that transgender and LGBTQ is a mental disorder. Gender isn't real. It's a made-up word. It's like WMDs. Male, female. Anybody else? You should be looking for help, because you know what? Pleasures on this earth aren't all there are. We're eternal. I'm out.